Hello. So this video I'm going to show you how you install the catch can to your V6 G8. So you got to remove the cover. Obviously you got to get access to the spot. I've been putting these cans in for a while now, and I just put this here bracket comes with this kit, but the holes are in the wrong spot for where I want it. I mean, you could probably put this a little closer here, but then you wouldn't be able to get to the can underneath. And this can comes with a little dipstick, so you know you don't have to take the can off to see what's in it. You could just check your dipstick out. And there's a little baffle on the inside, and you can put some stuffing in it to help filter. So basically what you want to do is, you see back here, right in the center, right there, that black one, you can see it. I'm going to point to it. It's right there. Okay, that's got to come off, and that is normally attached to that spot, that other spot right there. So what you're going to do is you just basically want to separate those two. The way you do it is, you can take your intake off. You can move these hoses out of the way. I just move the hoses out of the way and stuff, but other people might want to take the intake off. You got to replace your intake gasket usually every time you take it off, because it's been on there for a while. And if you take it off, but if it's a fairly new gasket and you've had it on there, just like a year or less, I'd reuse it. But if it's like the original one, which most of the time it is, if you're going to change it, you want to make sure that you got a new one. So yeah, you take that, and what you're going to do is you're going to take a cigarette lighter, a little butane torch or something like that, and you're going to heat that hose up, that hard plastic hose. Once you heat it up, you'll be able to separate that PCV, whatever clip there that plugs in there, and you'll be able to pull them apart. And that's what you want to do. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to put there you go, a 3/8 to 3/8 barb there, and you're going to heat it up again, and you're going to plug that in to that hard plastic line. And what that's going to do is now that you got the open end right there, the one that's on the south there, that's going to get you to join that to the line that's actually coming. So like, you take the line from the PC and you run it all the way in to your catch can, and then from your catch can you're going to go back. I've used a couple of those lines because I was trying to use the red line and I ran out of it, and shit's expensive, so I didn't buy any more of it. I just put in the last little bit of that color black hose. It works just as fine. This is actually, I wouldn't recommend using the red line. It's an inferior product. The black stuff's made for under the hood. I mean, if you can get some decent red line and whatever, if you want to go. My car's red, so I figured I'd try it out. Looks okay. I'm not going to change it back, but I'm not going to bother proceeding, wrapping all my stuff with red. Maybe, I don't know, might just do it just to make a video about it. Okay, so now you understand that goes there. So now that's going to come up into here, and you take this one off. These are actually quite easy to get off. Usually you can just do it with one hand, but I just wasn't videotaping it, just want to come off, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to explain to you the process of adding the second one. Then I'm going to take you over to the other car and I'm going to show you that one. So now, most cold air intakes are going to have this intake. You know, everything's going to come over to here. If it's your stock box, it's going to have a location where this hose just plugs right into it, and that's your secondary PCV from the opposite valve cover. Okay, that one usually doesn't have any issues with the discoloration and you know how the oil gets baked on the inside. If you look on that valve cover, you're going to see very dark difference in the color of oil and what, you know, how much it gets baked into the head. That one is usually really bad. This one is usually okay. But what I've been finding is when I pull off this and I check inside of here, there's a whole bunch of oil and it builds up, and there's always a bunch on the bottom of the butterflies inside the throttle body. So I figured that's the only thing that could possibly be doing it. So I added a PCV filter oil catch can to that. Okay, everybody that's got a cold air intake has now got this bolt open. So we're going to utilize this bolt for that. This one here, I knew I potentially eventually one day might add a second catch can. So I originally went and I put the original catch can in this location. You know, I just drilled a little hole right there and put a nut and bolt. And this is pretty firm and doesn't move around anywhere. I mean, looks okay. It's not like horrible. Just a little extender, but you know, it works. I can also get the catch can bottom off. So now we're gonna go over, check this other car. Okay, here we are at the other car. And I pointed out that we were gonna be using the old box's bolt to hold the catch can on the other side. And that's what I did with this one. So as you can see, I put the catch can there, and then that hard plastic line that comes from there, I've tried to utilize as much of that stuff as possible, the stock stuff, just because it's there and it looks a little neater. So what I did is I put these 3/8 to 1/2 inch barb connectors, elbows, right there. You see that? And what I did with that is I heated up this hose and I pulled the barb on, and I heated up that hose and I pulled the barb on, and there's my 3/8 line that goes into my catch cans and back out, and then it just goes right over to the box. I got the Orsum over the radiator cold air intake, so my box got that. But that location where it is pretty close to the stock box location, so it would be a direct, you know, bolt on kind of thing. I had to use the hose connector because that rubber is a little looser on my box than it was on the stock one. But this hose just slides right in and comes right out like that, and you can put it right in, and there's absolutely no way it's going to leak. And the same thing goes for this end of the hose. You can pull that right out, you can see, you know, and then you can put it straight back on. It's not going to have any issues of leaking or anything, so you should be fine. And you don't have to put hoses clamps on these parts because they're so damn tight that they will not leak air. Just push them on far enough so that, you know, they're all the way on, and you don't got to worry about that. And then your catch can, again, you got the dipstick, so I could test, you know, check it out, see if there's worth, you know, pulling the thing off to see, and if there's any oil in it. Yeah, they actually work. You know, I've had to drained mine a few times, but not this one. This one I just put on, and I haven't really driven this car to figure it out, so how often. But this one here, I filled this sucker up over a 2-month period. Not paying attention, I almost overfilled it, and basically that just means the engine's going to start sucking in the oil now, and I don't want that. So check them often. And obviously you guys know this is the CPR6 intake manifold, and the JetFlow throttle body, JetFlow throttle body spacer, which doesn't work on stock intake, so no point in going out trying to find it. If you guys are wondering about the video, where you can get that, don't bother. You can get the throttle body. What it does for you, well, with a car this heavily modified, when I got so many power adding additives and aftermarket stuff, I don't really know if I could actually figure out how much it's actually given me, or by, you know, throttle feel, because it's so much different. I mean, I got 2 cars that got similar stuff done to them, but the intake, the cams, and everything that's in this thing is way more than the other cars, so I can't even compare it. So I don't know. All right, well, that's that for the catch can installs. If you need any information, just say something in the comments and I'll try to address it. Maybe give you another video of any of the other stuff. If you need advice on any of this stuff, in the comments.